Have we sprayed? No. One more. Okay, my friend, what we're going to do is just pass this slowly over your tongue. Okay? Gastroscopy. I don't know if you can see this side, but what we're going to do is try and do a gastroscopy. So all I do now, I don't know if you can see, gastroscopy to me is one of the most neglected parts of endoscopy. Little wheel is neutral, wheels are off, unfixed. Thumb is on the D, can you see? So all I do now is just push the D forward, so the D is completely forward. I allow the scope to come over the top of the tongue. I slowly pass the scope and I allow the D to return. Just relax your shoulders, my friend. Relax your hands. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hands. I let it fog up, not a problem. Breathe through your mouth all the time. I allow the scope to come back central and the D, my thumb is still on it. He's just taking a little swallow there, as you can see. And now I don't do anything here, just clean the lens just a little fraction. And then I bring the scope to point to the corner. The scope is down and I let the scope go. Now just let him get his bearings, so he just breathes away slowly. If you look, I don't put much air in at all, a little bit. I've got a little bit of a esophageal spasm, I just allow things to happen. Keep the scope straight as it goes down. Now a little bit of air, point the buttons to the door, bring the scope back round slowly. Little bit of air, bring the buttons now pointing to the corner, and I draw the big wheel back looking at the pylorus. Pylorus is in front of me. Now melena would indicate that I would suggest that it's around here where I would expect to see an ulcer. I look at the first part, I don't go into the second part straight away. I look and I'm not seeing anything there at all untoward. I now repass the scope. I drop the scope back so it's in a straight line. I rotate the scope on its axis. I pull the big wheel back, I bring the scope back upright and it's round into the duodenum. So I don't do anything with the little wheel as yet. As you can see, everything there is fine. Now with regards to melena, there's nothing here that I could suggest that's causing that. I'm coming back now just slowly. Keeping the scope, the buttons facing this way, and this right hand doesn't have to be on the scope, it's just here, just to support. As the scope comes back, a little bit of air, and just allow it to sit. You can see how far we went down, and that's D1 just there, as you can see again. Excellent. Allow the scope to come back, and now what I do, before I do anything, I watch the pylorus, and I watch to see a contraction. The reason why I'm watching to see a contraction is that sometimes hidden behind one of the folds there could be a subtle ulcer. Nothing there at all. And now I advance the scope till it stops and I pull the big wheel all the way back and I look at the incisora clockwise, anti-clockwise, and now the big wheel is back, the little wheel comes back. I lock them both between the thumbs, touch a little bit of air and I bring the scope back. Anti-clockwise all the way here. Clockwise all the way there, and you can see nothing untoward there. Keep the scope pointing towards the wall, advance, no air. The scope now stops. I bring the scope back so it's pointing to the corner, neutralise the big wheel, neutralise the small wheel, and it will always be opposite the pylorus. Take some of the air down so it's a little bit more comfortable, bring the scope back, and I walk backwards slowly. The reason why I walk back, it keeps the scope in a straight line, so that then I can control what's happening. Turn the wheels pointing towards the floor, as you can see, and I continue to draw back. Bring the scope back upright, anti-clockwise, and advance just a fraction. Nothing here to suggest that of a cause of melena. So we're just coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Well done. And the reason for the deep breath in and the breathe out is that if there's any of fluid at the back of the mouth, as the scope comes out the last couple of centimetres, is blowing any collection of fluid away from his trachea so it all keeps it clear so he doesn't choke. Is that different?
Yeah, of course. Seems to be normal.
Everything was normal. Yeah. Because he said Melina, there's no need to do biopsies, because you said if it was just anemia, iron deficiency anemia, and no evidence of blood, I would have then taken routine duodenal biopsies. But we're talking that we're